If you'd achieved your business goals 5 years ago, be it 100 grand a year, 100 grand a month, million a year, whatever it is, and you've been earning all of that money up until now, the present day, how much more money would you have made in your business compared to what you actually did during that time? It's probably a lot of fucking money. All right. And the point of this video is to open your eyes to a certain way of thinking so that you don't have to repeat that over the course of the next 5 years, because the last thing you want is to look back on an entire decade of your life and find that it was put to waste and you could have done a lot more with that decade. Because realistically, and this might sound a little bit morbid, but ask yourself how many good decades in your life do you actually have. Your first 10, you're barely conscious. Your next 10, you're turning 18, 19, you can maybe enter the workforce. Your 20s, most people tend to piss them away trying to figure out what life is like. Your 30s, you have to try and solidify it. 40s, you can maybe enjoy a bit of the wealth that you built in your 20s and 30s. By your 50s, 60s, 70s, you start getting a bit old and you look to retire. So there's only like 2 decades in there you can actually make the most of this. If you're in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, and you're watching this, please don't let something like this go to waste. Doing something in your business towards the achievement of a goal is always better than doing nothing. Even if it seems risky, it seems dangerous, it seems like there's a certain level to which this can go wrong. If you can assess your options and think to yourself, I genuinely believe that there are things here that can help me, and you operate from a position of abundance, and you don't think to yourself, oh, if this doesn't work, I'm going to quit and give up straight away. If you're set on achieving that goal, and you think to yourself, I'm going to keep going until this happens, regardless of how many things I try, regardless of how many things I do, regardless of how many things that don't work out for me, then none of those things that don't work out are actually failures, so long as you actually go ahead and achieve that. And a good way of looking at this is that you either win or you learn. Push out your time horizon. Stop thinking to yourself, oh, I'm going to go with this program, or I'm going to buy this, and it's going to be silver bullet, golden ticket, free pass, hall pass that I'm looking and that I need to shortcut my way to my goals. Because it doesn't fucking exist. You're never going to find something that gives you the ticket or gives you the key that you need to get to the decision that you're looking to get to. Because it doesn't fucking exist. Alright? And I see it all the time, and it's something I always thought existed as well. And this is why I always had so much resistance myself to invest in myself in programs, because I thought, oh, well, if I'm putting this money into it, well, they should be giving me my goal. But what I didn't realize is that it was up to me. Same way it's up to you. Nobody can do it for you. There's no magic solution. It doesn't exist. But all that you can do is put yourself in the best possible position to be able to achieve the goal that you're looking to achieve. And it's based on your knowledge and your ability and your skills. And you develop those by taking new actions and learning new things. I'll put it to you like this. I can raise my arm because it's easy. I know that I can raise my arm. I can spin around in my chair, which I'm going to do on this video because why not? Because I know that I can do it. I can cook my dinner this evening because I know that I can do it. I can even generate leads and set appointments for mortgage brokers, 20, 30, 40 a month, depending on the ad spend, however many you want. But I can't build a business that does even 100 grand a year at this stage. I can't build a business that does 1 million a year. I certainly can't build a business that does 10 million a year. But if I knew how to do it, I would. The same way that there are people out there who have a business that does 10 million a year, that does 1 million a year. Because they know how. And the reason that they know how is because they've exposed themselves to knowledge and experiences and developed the skills that they need to be able to do that. But if you don't do anything, if you take a step and it doesn't give you that free hall pass to achieving your goal, you think, oh, I've been burned. Those guys don't know what they're talking about. It's safer for me to stay in this position. It's like, ask yourself what you want and weigh up what's riskier. If you have a goal, what's actually riskier? Is it riskier that you save up some of the cash that you are earning from the business as it stands? You research options, you find people who have similar values to you and similar ways of doing things and people that you have faith in and back, and you have confidence in yourself, and you make an investment into yourself for the betterment of your own ability to achieve that goal. Full well knowing that things might not work out straight away, that this might put you in a worse position in the short term than it does in the long term, that you might face trouble because of these investments. Or is it riskier for you to do nothing at all? You don't make the investment, you don't make any decisions, you don't try and improve your life circumstance and your life condition and your ability to improve on your life circumstance and your life condition, and you stay in the same place forever. What's actually riskier? And an analogy I can make for you, let's say, for example, you're stranded on a desert island, middle of the ocean. What are you going to do? Are you going to just stay on the island forever? Or are you going to build a raft, get some resources together, swim out to sea, knowing that you might fucking drown and die on the way? But if you don't give it a go, you're going to be stuck on that island forever, and you're never going to make it back to friends, family, loved ones, all of these things. And I'm not saying that this is exactly what we're up against, it's just an analogy. But it's certainly one that you want to consider if you're actually serious about making something of your time on this earth and your time utilizing this business model that you have. Because you're not your business, by the way. Try not to forget that. Don't think that if the business fails, you fail, or if the business goes down in numbers one month, you're down in value or any of that shit. You have a goal, you're trying to achieve it. You're allowed to fluctuate in terms of your life condition to try and achieve it. Just weigh up what you want. Ask yourself what you want, how much you want it, and what's riskier, doing nothing or going taking risks and going through detrimental situations to get there. Because at the end of the day, what's the point in doing something if it's easy? If you don't face challenges, what's the point? You know what I mean? But another simple way of looking at this. Let's say we were to take two people. We give them 30 days. And we said to them, hey guys, we're going to put you in a room with like a pottery machine. You make like clay pots kind of thing. And we want you to make a perfect clay pot in 30 days. You can take all the time you need to practice, blah, 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 whatever you want. Just give us a perfect clay pot in 30 days. And they're given like a shape on a piece of paper and they have to try and replicate it. Person A and person B. Person A goes in and they think to themselves, okay, cool, I have 30 days. I'm going to spend so long trying to build this pot perfectly. I'm going to spend a full day on literally just getting my clay together, making sure it's in the best condition, setting up the machine. I'm going to spend the first week just doing the bottom half of it. I'm going to spend the next week doing the top half. And then I'm going to spend the remaining time doing all the features and just making sure that it's absolutely perfect. And person B goes in, they think to themselves, I have 30 days and infinite clay. I'm just going to make as many pots as I can. I know that one of them will be perfect. And they get in, they start making loads of pots. They fuck up the first few because they're trying to rush them and be quick with them. They might end up making 1,000 pots and 999 of them might be shit. But in making those 999, they will have developed the ability to make pots so much more efficiently and so much better to the stage that their pots, even if they're only taking 1/30th of the time of person in, are actually higher quality because they've developed the experience, the ability, they've learned the lessons that they needed to learn. It's in pain and in suffering and problems coming up in our lives that we really start to listen and perceive and accept feedback from the world around us and take on lessons and improve. So if you're not going through issues and going through problems and willing to try out new things to achieve a new goal, then you might as well kiss the goal goodbye. But I'll leave you with this one thought. If you could have your goal, let's say, think of a number in terms of monthly revenue, in terms of monthly cases, whatever it is. And I said to you, 250 grand a year business, you can have it. It's yours. But it's going to cost you 30 grand. Would you pay it? Yeah. Hell yeah, you would pay it. You would give me 30 grand if you could guarantee that you get that business. You can do that with a decent level of certainty. It's just not going to be quite as clear cut. It won't be as over the same time frame either. It'll be over a longer time frame. You might spend £1,000 here on this program, on this partner, on this lead generation campaign, on this funnel, on this organic strategy, on this masterclass, on this course. Fuck anything. Think of anything that you want. You might spend £1,000 here. You might spend £2,000 there. You might spend £5,000 here. You might spend £2,500 here. And over the course of, say, a year, 2 years of you being consistent and not letting failures get to you and issues get to you and getting put down by the feedback and the negativity and ignoring your eyesight and working off of your mindset and the greater goal that you have, then you can bring your mind into existence by ignoring the perception that your flesh has of what's going on. And it might cost you 30 grand to get that 250k a year business over the course of 2-3 years. But that seems to me like a pretty decent price to pay, especially considering the fact that you just told me, I assume that you told me that you pay 30 grand to get that business and get that set up in the first place as well. But just recognize it's not going to happen on its own. You need to put yourself in a position where you have the skills, you have the ability, and you have the knowledge to be able to do that. You won't get that by sitting on your arse and not doing anything. So, bit of a harsh ending to the video there, but I'm starting to back myself to an extent and not necessarily be so polite around perceptions and stances that others might have. So, if you have any faith in what I've said and you are interested in seeing what it would be like to have someone like myself involved in your business, click on the first link in the description. I will be looking to sell to you on that, so don't click on it if you don't want to. Or you can click on the second link where you can just get all of my systems that I developed myself. You just won't have me to implement them, but it is free. So that's on the second link in the description. I appreciate you tuning in for this video. Hope it was valuable and useful to you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one as well. Take care.